Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Zain, and I'm the CTO of Horizen Labs. We work on the Horizen blockchain, and we're the home to the cryptocurrency Zain. We're also builders on Base. Today, I'll talk about compliant private stablecoins. These are the high-level beats of what I'll talk about today. We'll start with some quick framing with Vitalik's 3 transitions. And then I'll go through the 4 models of private stablecoins. For each of those models, I'll do a quick case study on each of them. The first one, anonymity sets. The second one, FHE-based. The third one, ZK-proof systems. And the fourth, trusted execution environments. Then I'll go through a roadmap towards compliant private stablecoins, and then a summary and next steps. Quick framing. So on the left is the bankless guys. Early on in the year, they had coined this term called stablecoin summer. And so we're in the midst of it. Everybody probably has gone through conferences that are completely about stablecoins. It's unavoidable, it's inevitable. And just like some quick framing here, in 2024, the global volume was 27.6 trillion, more than Visa and MasterCard, and the 2025 numbers are set to surpass that. On the right is Chris Dixon. He's the founder of A16Z Crypto. Last month, he was part of the A16Z Crypto podcast, where everybody was asking him, hey, why is everybody into stablecoins right now? He simplified it by saying, payments are now less than a second and less than a penny. That's very valuable for many countries. And for apps who want to adopt payments, it's literally one click to be able to have your application accept payments from 190 plus countries, just like that. He called stablecoins internet native money and the layer for it. Stablecoins are fast, global, but they leak everything. This illustration is more around like a leaky faucet. For enterprises, it undermines the competitive advantage. So it exposes supplier and vendor relationships, it leaks payroll, and all in all, the adoption of stablecoins for B2B flows is limited. For individuals, it compromises financial dignity and safety. Anybody could trace someone's income, their spending, donations. It puts your family members, employees, and activists at risk. It fails a lot of the basic premise for financial privacy. Although it has had a lot of adoption and it's really proving a lot, it's still underutilized. There's no mass payroll and retail adoption yet. Mainstream use really demands compliance and confidentiality. This is the blog post that I mentioned at the start. This is from over 2 years ago now. This is Vitalik's 3 transitions. These transitions are necessary for the greater level transition of Ethereum going from a young experimental technology to a mature, capable tech stack. And this tech stack is meant to bring open, global, permissionless experience to average users. You see here that this ecosystem triangle for the higher level transition, all 3 are needed. So on the bottom left, we have L2 scaling. And we've really seen the maturation of L2 scaling across the frameworks. It's highly viewed as the official sharding for Ethereum. And so that transition is fully underway. We have the wallet smart contract transition, and some of the folks from Wallet Connect were here earlier. They spoke about it. And then it was more fully introduced with last month's Spectra upgrade. So the last one is that privacy transition. So 2 years later, where we are now, these are the more recent views from just a couple of months ago, so 2025 Q2. Vitalik has posted around why he supports privacy, that it can no longer be ignored. It's freedom, order, and progress. In the Ethereum Magicians Forum, that's the core dev forum for Ethereum, he's posed a maximally simple L1 privacy roadmap. It consists of 9 steps, and it kind of goes just a little bit more simple beyond the protocol. So just to close out the framing, this talk is more about a higher landscape view. It is less about the specifics, but more about broad overall patterns. So I'll cover the 4 models of private stablecoins. What is it? A definition for a private compliant stablecoin is a stablecoin that preserves transaction confidentiality. So this could conceal the sender, receiver, and amount. And I know some projects are not concealing the sender and receiver by choice, citing that just the amount is necessary for regulation. This would align with regulatory expectations. This could be having an audit trail, selective disclosure, and I know that jurisdictions are very different, so this is more general compliance around jurisdictions. How does it manifest itself? So it could manifest itself in 2 ways. It could be a private representation of an existing stablecoin. So these are the ones you know very well, USDC, USDT, DAI. They're locked in contracts on the L1 and then reissued in these private runtimes. It can be achieved through wrapping or bridging, and it allows for private balance transfers within that runtime without issuing a brand new stablecoin. The other way it will manifest itself is through these native deployments directly in those privacy enforcing environments. So this could be a new stablecoin protocol that's launched directly inside the ZK, FHE, and TE systems. So these examples could include algorithmic models or CDP-based collateralized deposition-based issuance, where they're fully private by design and they have built-in logic for compliance. So these are just like very high-level broad strokes, the way I see them. There are 4 models. The first one is around anonymity sets. It's just playing around with indistinguishability amongst users. I'll go through some of the case studies here, include Bitwage, Tornado Cash, Railgun, and then the second one is around fully homomorphic encryption, FHE-based approaches. Many of these projects that are listed here are here at ECC. Then we have zero-knowledge proof systems, Aztec, Aleo, Manta, and others, and then trusted execution environments with Oasis, Vala, Automata, and us, Horizen. So the first case study set I'll go through is Bitwage. They've been around for a while, and they've really pushed the frontier towards payroll. They've reached, this was from the beginning of the year in January, they reached 400 million in crypto payroll processed, and they largely use stablecoins. There's this option here, which has been around for a while. It is a lightweight form of an anonymity set, which is to offer a set of over 100 different payout addresses. So every time that you're paid as part of payroll, wages will be sent to the next address on that list, which nobody could see except for the folks who are there. It achieves anonymity with this limited set of addresses. The second one, many of you are familiar with this, it's the Tornado Cash style of smart contract mixing. The idea here is that to use a shared pool where you could deposit your stablecoin, a fixed amount at USDC, and it creates a commitment that gets added to a data structure, a Merkle tree. Upon withdrawal to a different address, all you have to do is supply zero-knowledge proof, and it doesn't reveal which deposit was originally theirs. Now, the anonymity set here is that it's all deposits, and more users mean more anonymity. One issue with this is these are all from 2022. The Tornado Cash was added to the OFAC list, the Office of Foreign Asset Controls. And so this caused many projects, because they want to be OFAC compliant, they start to freeze interactions with Tornado Cash smart contracts. The first one was Circle. Initially, USDT said that, oh, they are not going to do that. But 16 months later, they did, and definitely understandably so. Even RPC providers with Infura and Alchemy started blocking access to Tornado Cash, which means that even if you were to use popular wallets, you couldn't access Tornado Cash through those. The center image is around relayers in the block building process. Many of these MEV relayers, at least 7 out of the 10 of them, they strive for OFAC compliance, so they actively censor blocks, which means for certain transactions, especially those that interact with Tornado Cash, they were censored. I know that there's an active movement around this with forked choice inclusion lists, and I know that that will be definitely a big part of anti-censorship. 1 degree higher than Tornado Cash private pools is the concept of privacy pools. This was, on the left is a white paper from Vitalik from a couple of years ago, and it talks about just like an advancement where these pools are only limited to addresses who have never interacted with known exploits. It is, there's a kind of like a way of checking and providing these proofs of innocence, and there's a diagram here showing a membership proof. I'd mentioned that 9-step plan from just a couple of months ago. The very first step of that 9-step plan from Vitalik had mentioned, hey, we can immediately use these privacy tools and these privacy pools with existing wallets. So MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Coinbase, just giving some examples where wallets should have this notion where whenever you send to someone else, you should send it from a shielded balance. That way, you achieve privacy on the wallet level. Now, this would ideally be turned on by default, and so users would not have to download a separate privacy wallet. One downfall of this is that risk could be viewed as moving towards the wallet providers. I have no real good statistic around this, but my sense is that maybe there's a 10% chance that wallet providers would actually default to this. That's a fuzzy statistic. So the summary is that private stablecoins with these anonymity sets definitely unlinkable when the set is large. It's a very flexible design space with Bitwage wallet defaults, and it's available today. The cons are their small sets, which reduce the anonymity guarantees, and censorship and legal risk, which we saw. Another thing with the privacy set is that bootstrapping these sets are hard, and although it's available today, it's in a little bit of a gray area. Next, I'll go through FHE-based. This is a announcement from Circle Research with Inco. They had said that they're introducing this Confidential ERC-20, and I know Remy from Inco had talked yesterday, which was great. And this on the right is the on your right is the white paper for it. This is a high level on the interface, so it is comparable to the ERC-20, but it has this concept of hidden balance, hidden transfer, and these wrappers. And the idea is that you could either implement this sort of privacy as EVM precompiles or co-processing approach. So with this confidential ERC-20, it's more of an interface that contracts can interact with, and FHE is just one implementation of it. So from a higher level, I didn't really go through FHE, but on a higher level, the data that you're working with could be the address, the amount, it's encrypted, and then there's this, all computations on this encrypted data are happening while it's encrypted, so it's not decrypted anyway until much later on by the client. On the right, you'll see this like high-level representation of it, which is the confidential ERC-20, really delegating to this FHE processor. For like things like a balance transfers, it undergoes everything through encrypted operations. So that includes encrypted addition, encrypted comparisons, and just like deducting the amount in an encrypted way over the encrypted data from the sender, and then adding the increment to the recipient. Zama has made a lot of progress here, and are leaders in the space. They have the confidential blockchain protocol. I believe their testnet launched today. Much congrats to them. And it's really a similar model where there's co-processing that's happening off-chain with encrypted computation. And they had mentioned that although they can work with encrypted sender and recipient addresses, they chose not to do that, but only the amounts are encrypted. From their view, compliance is more around traceability, just like the way messages are happening, where that you can see messages, who exchanged them, but not the message content. They are encrypting the amounts. Right, testnet live July 1st today, mainnet Q4 2025, and transaction costs have been lowered, and no fees on the computation itself as of now. So pros, I think that it has strong backing in terms of Circle Research, a leading stablecoin provider, issuer, directly involved with the research. It really takes FHE and aligns it with real-world regulatory and enterprise needs. It's scalable with more hardware investment. There's a lot with FPGAs, ASICs, and the costs are trending down overall. The cons is that it's still a heavy off-chain infrastructure, requires those heavyweight co-processors and MPC decryption nodes. I think we're still pretty early, and the tooling is pretty new, as well as the testnet's just launching. Summaries, there's like a lot of large technical strides, but still really early. Next up, ZK proof systems. Aztec, they have that programmable ZK layer 2 off Ethereum. They also launched testnet sometime last month. They have Aztec Noir as a smart contracting language, and been making huge advancements in the space. The architecture here is that smart contract execution happens in this custom ZK VM, and private state is held in these encrypted UTXOs and public state in Merkle trees. The design pattern for stablecoins is similar, where stablecoins could be bridged directly from Ethereum into Aztec, or new stablecoin protocols can be deployed. The maturation cycle here in testnet, there's new Aztec 3, but mainnet expected later in the year. This is a project that's led by Taurus, which is it is a institution, and the architecture here is that it is a contract minted that is deployed directly into Aztec, and it's backed by one-to-one off-chain assets, similar to Circle's USDC. It is native privacy. The way I view this is that it's more of a directional view where that institutions are interested in it, and institutional grade privacy native stablecoins are occurring in ZK L2s, and so it is a broader evolution. Pros and cons with stablecoins and ZK proof systems. The programmable privacy here is that it is much richer, especially with Noir. Amongst the cryptographic privacy models, it seems to be the most mature. They have had solid tooling and testnets for some time, and offer just a little bit more performance. In terms of cons, proof generation is improving, but still a constraint. There's faster proving with hardware acceleration, but even with that proving, there's centralization risks as well as leakage in terms of privacy leakage from the proving networks. Ecosystem's still early, but it is a compelling and practical approach. Yeah, testnet and mainnet are promising. Lastly, I'll go through the fourth bucket, which is trusted execution environments. I'll just do a quick aside. From that 9-step plan, there is a step 5 here around TE-based RPC privacy. Now, it's not directly related to stablecoins, but I just wanted to call out that it was mentioned in the 9-step plan, and here it's more around the fact that RPC nodes themselves are leaking privacy. You don't even have to be submitting transactions, but your interactions, such as your browsing patterns and IPs, they are visible to RPC providers. So the idea here is to be able to run a T-protected RPC, and Automata, who I believe also had a talk yesterday, is a working example of this. This is another way of having wallets and RPC providers help with privacy beyond the protocol. So extending T's towards transaction execution. The idea here is that transactions execute inside of the trusted execution environment where EVM logic, it lives inside the enclave. Now, T's have come a long way, and yeah, I think that it is a very compelling design. This enables private transfers of existing stablecoins without modifying the contract and without having to know a new language. There's confidentiality and compliance by design, where sender, receiver, and amount are all hidden, and it supports jurisdictional controls such as geofencing, enterprise compliance. The the fastest path towards enterprise-grade stablecoin deployments. It's low latency. A lot of them are widely available in major cloud platforms, AWS, Azure, and it is a great near-term solution for institutions seeking compliance and speed. This is where we're operating as well. We are part of the Base ecosystem. This is the announcement of Base and their L3 chains, and we're part of that initial cohort. We're moving our entire token supply from UTXO-based blockchain directly into Base as an ERC-20, and we're working on a confidential compute environment for the end of the year. These are the like high-level beats of like our roadmap, and we are fully into the migration of our token directly into Base and widely available across all exchanges, Binance, Coinbase, and then working towards our compute environment. Just another note, this is a comment from Philip Decker, who is a analyst in emerging payments at Amex. He had gone through a similar kind of like thought process as I did. This was published maybe 2 or 3 days ago. And he also, at the end, makes a case for TEs, citing that the performance is high and it enables near instant execution with minimal gas. And because of their the way that they're structured, there's a little bit more legal clarity. Just like with cloud storage, governments can have ability to request information as needed. So pros and cons. There's EVM compatibility and speed. You can run the existing stablecoin contracts without any rewrites and near instant execution within these enclaves. It's already compliance ready by design and supports selective disclosure, auditability, and geofencing. Some of the cons are that there are assumptions with the hardware, relies on the security of the vendors, Intel and AMD, and there are operational centralization risks. But all in all, Ts offer this practical, performant path, and it's ideal for enterprises. This is a high-level roadmap. I've superimposed the Ethereum hard forks on here. Ethereum has had 17, 18 upgrades, all drama-free and with zero downtime. Incredible. I put Fusaka on here, Glamsterdam, and the RISC-V VM in like a more cloudy way. The first one, the anonymity set stablecoins, available now. But right, that 10% chance of being adopted and still in the gray zone. FHEs are improving a lot, but I think in terms of coprocessor development, performance optimizations, there's more of a chance for maturity closer towards the end of next year. ZK stablecoins, ZK-based stablecoins, a lot is already out there, but also probably 2026 mid-year and beyond. And then T-based stablecoins, more of a near term. Now, this is also kind of like fuzzy reasoning, but just like a high-level view. Summary and next steps. So we went through the definition of a private compliant stablecoin, how it manifests itself, private representations of existing stablecoins, bridged, reissued, then the native deployments. These are some like high-level models of the private stablecoins. I probably missed a few like buckets. Maybe there's a wallet-based bucket and account abstraction, but these are the ways they could be categorized. And then quickly, we went through like a roadmap in terms of like time to maturity, just superimposing this on top of the Ethereum upgrades. Next steps. We're all in this together. I've took a little screenshot of the Ethereum Infinite Garden. It is a very fast-moving frontier. We're building it together as developers, parts of this community. We also want to include regulators and institutions. They're part of this like magical experience. I feel very grateful to be here, and thank you. Thank you, everyone. Any questions?
Thanks. Great presentation. Thank you so much. I was wondering if you also where you would put something like Midnight as a layer for encryption on existing wallets.
That's a good question. From what I remember about Midnight, it's more of like a ZK-based system, so I'd categorize it there. I wasn't familiar about it being a layer 4, but you know, that seems to make sense to me in terms of like lower costs.
Thank you for the talk. It's very interesting. I have a question about performance levels. So you showed that slide with FHE and ZK. What kind of performance levels do you think you need, or the industry needs, for it to go mainstream?
Yeah, it's a great question. I feel like these slides, I just kind of like put them together, but they're probably outdated already, how fast the things are moving in the industry. But at the very beginning, I showed like sub-second transactions. I know like Base has block times now of like 250 milliseconds. So I think in terms of like performance and speed, ideally it'd be sub-second. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate you being here.